basically you're not doing anything for free. There's always some sort of something that you need to do in order to get attention, right? So to answer your question on Instagram, good luck finding a dame who will charge you nothing for services. Because in today's day and age, there are people who will do it for free, but not for long. And you know, I don't mind asking questions or answering questions for submissives who are interested in this type of stuff. But like I said, my submissives were never free. Every single one that was owned by me, whether they live with me or not, they were doing something for me. They were either paying a bill, they were paying for mistress's dinner, they were contributing in some way possible. So to answer your question, nothing in life is free, okay? Basically, you know, it's kind of funny because, you know, I get a lot of questions like throughout like time periods and this and that, and it's kind of interesting to hear like, you know, the funny things that come out of people's mouths, you know, so to speak, and you know, this, that, and everything else. So I mean, so BDSM to some degree, I mean, look, there are submissives who are into financial slavery, meaning that they are what you call a pay pig, or they want to pay money to a mistress because they have a financial slavery fetish, which is they are addicted to having women take money from them. It's almost like like some sort of weird exchange, like we get to humiliate you and train you, and you get to pay us to train you. We also, but sometimes you get these fellows that have credit cards like in their mouth, and they're like, "Oh, mistress, I want you to wallet rape me." Really? You want to be rinsed? Wash, rinse, and repeat. That's what I have to say about that for financial domination or financial slavery. Is when you have a submissive or a slave, it's usually a slave, who will pay anything to be in the good graces of a dominant and continue to be allowing the dominant to wallet rape them, and so they can make money for their own financial gain. So basically, I've had pay pigs in my 32 years of being a dominatrix, and in my 32 years of being a dominatrix, I've had pay pigs come to me that want to be blackmailed. I've had pay pigs come to me because they have a foot and shoe fetish and they want to buy me tons of shoes and lingerie and pay for my nails to get done so they can see me in all the beautiful things that they have given to mistress, right? And of course, they get off on it because to them, they're having, you know, they're basically getting off on me spending their money. Now, I had this one fella many years ago that basically I used him so badly with his credit card that I got him, I got him like for a lot of money. Like he even gave me a credit card that had like a $10,000 limit on it. And this was back in like 2008, 2009. And he just let me spend away. He had no problem, you know, letting me spend his money because he got off on that, you know. So anyway, I'm just texting my mother, letting her know that I'm doing my radio show because she keeps trying to fucking call me. And I'm not talking to her right now. I said, I'm doing my radio show. I will call you back later. So anyway, so it's kind of funny. You know, my mom knows that I'm a dominatrix and all kinds of other stuff. And she always asks me like, oh, you know, because I actually, a few years back, I bought her some presents that came from this pay pig. And she was like, wow, where did you get the money to buy that? And I'm like, well, Mom, I have this guy that I dominate financially. He's what you call a pay pig. He likes to be washed, rinsed, and repeated over and over again. And my mother goes, well, what the fuck does that mean? I'm like, well, it means that he likes when I spend his money, he gets off on it. It's a high for him. It's almost like a drug addiction that, you know, I play with him a little bit online, kind of expose him to maybe, or threaten to expose him to somebody for his deep, dark secret. It's almost like a blackmail scenario. And basically, yeah, he gets off on the fact that I'm spending his money. And the whole purpose of that is to make Mistress happy, of course. So it's kind of interesting, like, to think about the financial aspect of it, like the financial domination fetish. Could it be a lifestyle? Yes. If you have a live-in slave that is like forever indebted to you, that you are going to be, spoiled rotten by this fella, and it just continues for the duration of his life or the duration of the contract, that whatever. When I had financial slaves, they were all in contract, so they knew what they had to do each month. They had to tribute mistress a certain amount of money. They were doing online training. They were basically, kind of at my whim, at my beck and call, so to speak. It's kind of nice when you have somebody like that, though, because you can count on them. They, then you would give them tasks to do for you. If they were into humiliation, you'd give them like a bunch of humiliating tasks that they had to do. And then they'd have to send me video proof showing that they actually did it. So, and then of course they would get rewarded with something that I thought they would enjoy. Now, I don't ask them what they like, because, again, they're not there for their pleasure, they're there for mine. So, if I'm going to financially dominate somebody, I'm going to financially dominate them to the gills to make sure that they are a broke-ass pay pig when they are done with me. So, kind of an interesting concept, right? Guy wants to... I basically tell them to bend over and shit out $100 bills to give to Mistress. But before I go any further, I want to thank Blitzkid for allowing Mistress to use your song, She Dominates. I've been using it for my show since 2018. It is very fitting. So I want to thank you, Blitzkid, for allowing me to continue to use your song, She Dominates. I also want to thank Spunk Lube, one of our sponsors for the show. They have the best lubricant. They have silicone, hybrid, natural, and there's another one that looks like cum, actually, so it's like called Cum Lube. So you should really check them out. They're on spunklube.com, and you can actually go to our website, which is bdsmaliveradio.com, and you could actually find their information there too. So, of course, I want to thank Blitzkid, and I want to thank Spunk Lube. So, kind of an interesting fact, I actually have an OnlyFans page, and, sorry, I was smoking. I actually started it in 2018, and then I kind of couldn't figure out how to do it. So, just recently, within the past, couple of weeks or a month or so ago, Mistress decided to go on her OnlyFans page, which I do post content that I do not post other places. So you can subscribe to my profile for free, and how you can find me is www.onlyfans.com/MistressCandy69. So you can subscribe to my profile for free. Since I've been on there, I think I've been doing pretty darn good. Excuse me. I do take requests for certain photos now, and I'm not being submissive in any way, shape, or form. But I know a lot of you fellas out there have different types of fetishes, whether it's pantyhose fetish, shoe fetish, barefoot fetish, bastonado, which is like foot torture, basically, tickling fetish, mummification, basically leather and latex, where I could wear some of my great outfits and take a custom photo set for you, and then I could sell it to you on there. So it's kind of an interesting, and if you are, I do know I have a lot of fans. So actually a lot of my fans had resubscribed to my page that were initially on there in 2018, and then when I hadn't been active for a while, they kind of either unsubscribed or there was no activity. I read that OnlyFans will force them to unsubscribe until I have a reactive profile, which is kind of interesting. So I have been kind of getting busy on there. I recently did a bikini set where you can go on, and when you subscribe to my profile, you can pay to unlock certain content, which is not really on anywhere else. Although on Instagram I have one photo from the set, but that's just a teaser photo. If you want to see more of Mistress, you're going to have to go to my OnlyFans and subscribe and pay for the content. Because, like I said, whatever I post on OnlyFans, I'm not posting anywhere else. So these are pretty much new photos, new videos of Mistress, new things, and I do take requests for certain work. So if anybody out there wants to have like Mistress dominating or humiliating them in a video, or giving verbal humiliation or anything of that nature, if you want like a custom foot and shoe set, ass worship photos. Now, of course, you probably will never see Mistress naked, but if you had a special request and wanted to work out something, I could sell you a beautiful set of ass photos, and it would be custom. Because why? Mistress doesn't normally show her rear end. Why? Because it's a very submissive trait. And two, I like to practice CFNM, which is clothed female, naked male. That's how I dominate boys and girls. Mistress likes to be the almighty supreme one, wearing her outfits and letting you fellas kind of think about what I look like underneath those outfits. That's where the adoration and the worship comes from. So if you had wanted like a breast, leg, and ass worship photo set, I'd be willing to do it. I'd be doing it dressed, or I may be doing it wearing a bikini or just a pair of panties. But you will never get to see my privates unless I decide that I'm going to do that. So, like I said, please subscribe to my OnlyFans. Right now, I think I had said I've only been on there for maybe 2-3 weeks, and I have quite a number of subscribers, but I would like to have more subscribers because Mistress wants to stay busy. Now with Exotica coming up, of course, Mistress needs to do a lot of promotion for Exotica, a lot of public relations, a lot of media stuff, and I also am promoting myself at the same time. They always say, if you don't promote yourself, no one else will. So you always have to start with yourself, right? So I'm starting with myself, and then I'm, of course, getting back into the swing of things. Mistress is, in fact, looking for some local submissives. I'm actually looking for somebody who can be Mistress's personal chauffeur. I'm actually looking for somebody to help, Mistress with, like chores and things of that nature. Not here, but when I get my own place, I'm going to be looking for a sub to do Mistress's laundry. So I'm going to be looking for a slave for domestic servitude position, non-live-in, or unless you want me to come live with you, then that would be fine with me too. I have no problem relocating to a willing submissive's house. All the subs have a wonderful dream. It's having a mistress live with them, being under her tutelage 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So if anybody out there is looking to have a mistress live in with them, I would love to get to know some of you fellas and girls too. I have no preference because my BDSM type dominance and submission doesn't involve sex. So I'm looking someone strictly for domestic servitude, somebody who knows and understands their place beneath my feet because I am superior to them. They are inferior to me. And basically looking to have a good time and have as many slaves and subs as I want. Why? Because I'm Mistress Candy and I get to have whatever the hell I want to have. Oh. Well, I hope you are my fans tonight are listening to Mistress kind of gab a little bit. So an update, I had gone back to the doctor today for when I had the cervical fusion done. It's actually been 10 weeks, not 12 weeks. 12 weeks will officially be July 21st. So they took an x-ray and they said that it looks okay. I'm still healing. And then they tell me today that this type of surgery takes about a year to fully heal. So I said, wow, I'm going to be out of work that long. So the doctor had said, he goes, well, I'm just now going to start sending you to physical therapy. So I have to go to physical